All right, we're going to start episode 2 of Scions. We are going to do the flashback that we wanted to do last week for Kaelin, so we're going to start with that. So we flash back to the sorting ceremony that we did last time we played. The sword that determines the house with which you join. Kaelin, it is your turn to be sorted. What would you like to do?
So I would have, as I saw the sword there, I would have liked to see if there was like I imagine I don't know at what point I would have gone, but I would have like to have done a perception check to see what would be the, like, if there was like an angle or like some way to get it without exerting too much effort, like too much trouble. So I would like to see if I could do that.
Okay. Sure, go ahead and give me a perception check here.
I think I did that right.
Yes, so we have an 11. Also, we are, by the way, guys, we are doing an audio version of this. Sorry to break us out of the game for a second there. We're doing an audio version of this, so do make sure to call out your number rolls for anybody that's listening along with us at home. Just that way they know what you rolled.
So, yeah, I rolled an 11.
Yeah, so we have an 11 here. And you are trying to not inspect, but like...
Yeah, just see the sword if there was, some way that I could, grab it.
Yeah. So you can see that there is like like you can grab it pretty easily. Like that doesn't necessarily require you to look at. Like it kind of goes with you when as you've noticed in some of the previous sortings that have happened.
Gotcha.
What you do notice is some script written on the like
what
the
language?
What languages do you know?
I actually know quite a few. I know Primordial, Celestial, Elvish, along with Common.
All right, so it is Celestial,
okay,
and you can read it. It says the Blade of Fates.
Oh, damn.
On it. Yeah, which is kind of appropriate for this particular item.
So as I grab it, I kind of notice the writing on it, and I kind of look at it, just, because I can understand the language, and I guess that's it, right? You pull it out, and then they kind of... I haven't been instructed to do anything yet, so I guess I just read it then, yeah.
Yeah, so once you take hold of it, it glows, the color denoting house Valderon. But you also notice the lettering that changes, the celestial lettering that said the Blade of Fates. Before it kind of, as you're kind of like being judged in moments, as the sword kind of judges you, it kind of is like, it's naming off traits, right? That's showing like bravery. So you see the celestial word for like bravery on there. Loyalty, right? Steadfastness, leadership. It's going through all these words as it's looking deep and peering deep into your very soul as it begins to glow with House Valderon's color. and once it starts to fade, as it's done what it's needed to do, Tola Zadonia. No, sorry. Head warrior Sir Barhold Steelthor kind of takes notice of you and how you're kind of looking at the sword, and as it's kind of gone through and listed off your traits, he kind of nods and grunts an approval to you. And he says, "You may take your place with the others." He kind of indicates to where everyone else is standing.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else, Kaylin.
No, and then I guess I like much like everybody else. I guess I leave the sword or whatever, right? And then
yeah.
I just
I try to take it with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so I leave the sword, and then I guess I walk over towards everybody else, and as I walk over there, I kind of take note of who's like with or who's in the same house as I am as I walk to everybody.
Give me another. Actually, give me
Would roll.
Give me another perception check as you're kind of looking around to see who else is in my house. Let's see who you notice.
Yeah, like I'm just walking towards everybody, and I'm trying to see like who else is in there. I roll a 4. Ugh. Oh, no, 7.
For a total of 7. Yeah, it doesn't add your bonuses on here. You do notice. Let's see which person you noticed. Let's look here. Roll a d10 for me, DT. I mean,
Okay.
Kaylin.
Hold on. Let's see. 10. Just straight up, just D10.
Straight up, just a d10.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, you chunked that thing.
7. DT, you know. I mean, Kaylin. Sorry.
Yeah.
You notice a tiefling girl with red skin, crimson skin, and she has curled like ram horns on her head, and she's kind of like she's standing. She's already been not judged. She's already been sorted into the house, but you see her kind of standing to the side, and she's kind of like trying to not be noticed. Like she's kind of being a little bashful. And she is kind of nibbling on looks like a baked treat of some kind.
So okay. Oh, this is the person. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this is who you're seeing.
So you said I noticed that she's like trying not to be noticed, yeah?
Yeah, she's just kind of like a little bashful, acting kind of like that. I'm also I meant to send that in the chat. Hang on a second. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, as I continue to walk forward and get in line, everybody, I as knowing that she's not trying to get attention, I just kind of still acknowledge her and give her one of those like 2-finger salute kind of things, and then just get in line with everybody else.
She notices you and then looks kind of away kind of quickly, and goes back to kind of munching on her treat. Yeah. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to do during the course of this little mini flashback that we're having right now?
Not me.
Okay.
Off to the feast we go.
All right, we flash forward to you guys stepping through the threshold into the great feasting hall. Did I read the description for this last time? Does anybody remember? Because I forgot if I did.
I think you might have.
So I thought
think
it was
I
how it
did.
ended. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I think I did.
remember
Does anybody want to refresh on it? I can read it again. It is a little bit of a mouthful. But if not, we can continue on. You guys step into the Great Hall. And yes, we did describe it because I remember saying that there's food of all shapes and sizes here. And as you step over the threshold, your clothes completely changed into your uniforms. The school uniforms. Which for you guys would be, I believe it is blue and black.
Blue, yeah.
And gold is the colors we have for House Valderon.
Nice.
And as you look around, you see the uniforms of the others. For Shadow Brand, it is like a purple and black. And for House Arius, it is a green and like a teal. Not teal, a green and a like yellow, like combination, kind of like they have collars with the colors on them. So you guys are blue and gold and black, and you hear one of the teachers behind you. I believe it is Chaplain Mother Theodosia, with a little reassuring voice, says, "Do not worry about your belongings. They will be waiting for you on your beds in your rooms at the student housing." She kind of smiles. "Please take your seats at the tables and feel free to get to know one another and take part in all of these delicious goodies that have been prepared for you here on this day." She kind of smiles. And everybody starts to kind of file in and take their place at their respective tables, which the tables are divided up into the houses here. As the students start to intermingle with each other. And yeah, you guys have some free time here to explore conversation with each other or with the students, or to take part in some of the food as well.
Are there bread rolls on the table?
There are absolutely bread rolls on the table.
Can I stuff some in my pocket?
You sure can.
Is there fish?
Yeah.
I assume there's fish on the table.
No, oh, absolutely. There is. You know what? How about I give you guys a few sampling, since the food seems to be the main thing here. Some of the things that are on the table, and pretty much anything that you can envision is probably on there, unless it's something insanely unique, which is totally up to you guys. So first off, we have shimmerleaf salad with a moonberry vinaigrette, dragonfire peppers stuffed with a celestial cheese. You see some pixie wing crisp, not really pixie wings, but with a fairy dust dip. You see a thundercloud mushroom broth and lava eel chowder. Grilled chimera steak with starfruit salsa, roasted phoenix breast. You see kraken tentacles, so like just any type of food. Yes, Essie, go ahead.
Is this food like on the table that we sit, or is it like over there and then we bring it to the table?
It is on the table that you're sitting at.
Gotcha, okay. Essie goes and sees where the fish is and takes a seat near the fish. And then begins to gather food.
Okay.
So my question is, before we sat down, did we hear the names of all this stuff, or is it just like, here it is, and go do whatever? Josh.
So it is probably like a mix of like some of this you recognize and some of it you probably don't.
Okay. Well, I'm only asking because if I would have heard the name Celestial Cheese, I'd been like, what is that? I want to go see what that's about. So we're just gonna do that. Let's say I hear somebody say celestial cheese. I'm like, what? And then I kind of like go towards wherever that is and see like what is this so-called celestial cheese?
Okay, so the celestial cheese is like it is stuffed in the dragon fire peppers, right? So as you look at it, you see that it's about the size of what we would call a jalapeno, right? A jalapeno, but with a distinctively curved shape. It kind of looks like a dragon horn. The skin of the pepper, it has like a slight iridescent quality. It almost looks like it's shifting colors, depending on how you look at it as you move around. And it has like tiny scale-like patterns on the surface of the pepper. Yeah. So that's kind of like the main part of it. The cheese is like pure white in color, but it's got like this almost silvery sheen to it. Give me another perception check as you kind of look a little closer at it, Kaylin.
Okay. And we get a 12 plus 3, 15.
Okay. So you see tiny star-like specks that are visible in the cheese. Gives it almost an appearance like of a clear night sky. It looks like soft and creamy in texture. And that is the cheese, the celestial cheese.
Well, that looks and sounds good. So I'm gonna get digging it. Let's go.
You gonna take a bite?
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. I need you to make a Constitution save for me, please.
Oh boy.
As you bite into this.
It's because of the scaly shit, huh? Okay.
Well,
let me see. Constitution. There we go. Okay, here we go. 11.
That is an ability check, Kaylin. I believe.
Oh, my bad. Saving throw?
Saving throw, yes. That's what
there it is. Yeah, my bad.
Well, I think the saving throw might get a bonus to. Hit me with that.
Roll it again. Let's see what it is. An 8.
There we go. So we get a total of 8. And you munch into this pepper. First of all, let me describe the flavor of this thing.
Okay.
It is intensely spicy, living up to its draconic namesake. At first you think, this isn't so bad, but then it just slowly builds and builds and builds into like a lingering burn. Underneath this spiciness, there's a complex flavor profile with notes of smoke, citrus, and almost like a weird metallic tang to it. Kind of thing going to it. Now, you don't take any damage, and you're not hurt by any of it, but you can't help but like start coughing a little bit, kind of like that, as the intense spiciness kind of takes over for a moment. And then the cheese hits you on your tongue, which is almost like a cooling relief as it helps that powerful spiciness kind of fade away into a pleasant warmth in your mouth.
That's good. Yeah, I was about to be like, yo, can I get the brown boy bonus? Like, I can handle the heat.
Yeah. While you're eating on that, what is everybody else doing at the table? Let's throw it over to to Zareth. What are you up to? Or sorry, Marcel. Called you by your Discord name.
Yeah, I need to change that. Marcel, he chilling, he looking at everything. I'll say that like he probably knows what some of it is. Or has heard of some of it at least. And shit. So I think he's grabbing some of the chimera steak and everything, getting some of that. What were the pepper joints you was talking about? What was that called again?
The ones I just ate.
No, that was a different thing, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Like, didn't you eat the celestial cheese thing or something like that? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, it had the peppers in it too, though. That's why it was
Yeah.
spicy, right, Josh?
But it was
You're
like
saying,
Oh god, I'm
like
muted.
jalapeno.
Sorry.
They were like jalapeno, like
yes.
like stuffed
oh,
jalapeno.
They
the
were-
jalapeno pops. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
He grabbed some of them too, and everything, and started eating on that, eating on the chimera steak first, just
Marcel.
to try that out.
If I may interject here. As you reach out for food, your hand brushes another, also going for the same item. Give me a just roll a D10 for me, Bigfoot.
D10.
Or, yeah, just a flat D10 to see who you're brushing hands with.
All right, here we are. All right, D10 game. 9.
A 9. Awesome. Let's see who you see. All right. So, Marcel, you brush hands with, you look over and you see, like, just the hairiest little clawed hand going for a steak the same time as you, and you just bump hands with them. You see a broad, fairly muscular dwarf, teen with a fairly ruddy complexion and closely cropped, rust-colored hair, and he has a little bit of a beard. He has a little bit of like, you can't quite tell what it looks like. It looks like he has like almost dust on his face, or some charcoal, kind of mixed on his face. As you lay eyes on this particular fellow. And he kind of breathes out, apologies, sir. Apologies, sir. He's like trying to make his voice sound deeper than it probably is.
Marcelo, we immediately no sirs, or anything like that. No need to apologize. Do you want to go right ahead? And take this one. I'll just grab another. I'm Marcel. What's your name?
They call me Theron Anvilbane. And I'll type it in chat for you.
Theron and is that a name? Have I heard of this name? Anything like that?
See if I have it in the notes. No, because yeah, you would not have heard of this person. I do not believe, Marcel. Or the family name either.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, it was a pleasure to meet you, Theon. And everything. Is he? We're in the same house, right?
Would
I'm
they?
assuming.
You are in the same house, correct?
He wasn't yet. He's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. You want to sit down and eat with us here?
Yeah, he's like, I would love to, and he grabs a steak that's looks almost as big as he is, and just starts devouring it, with very little grace or manners at all. He makes quite the mess.
My sister starts laughing. uh, not like it's just like the type of like jovial laugh where you just like it's been a while since I've been here, like, and everything. You having fun, and shit, and yeah, he'll start eating his steak. He'll sit down with him and start eating his steak as well. He'll also be like looking around and like looking at everybody, kind of trying to see who all's around and like who all's like doing things, who's congregating together, who's like kind of on the outskirts of shit as well. Like he's just trying to like look at all that.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to roll a perception check or some shit for that.
No. Give me just a moment, because I want to set the stage a little bit more, which is that the party is mostly seated, if not next to each other, fairly near each other. So you guys can interact with each other. I didn't say that when we first
Oh no, yeah,
started.
that's why I said I thought so. That's why I was like, if you wanted to sit with us,
Yeah.
like specifically, because I was like, I assumed we were all like congregated.
Yeah, you're all kind of congregated together. Yeah, so around you, you see, you see the party. I don't think you all, like, have met yet, but for the most part, out of game, are kind of sitting next to each other. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check, Marcel, just to see if you spot anybody else completely.
All right. I guide myself. All right. That would be. Yep, it don't matter. I don't see shit. I don't see shit. Even with the, I'll roll it just because I said it. But
for people, folks at home, he rolled a 2. And then he guided himself and got another 2 for a total of 4.
4 total. It's beautiful.
There's something like you start to look around, but like, Theron bites into his steak and like a big like chunk of grease like shoots out, and this happens to kind of. It doesn't like spray you exactly, but it distracts you as it kind of goes by almost, and like, yeah, at the and any opportunity after that is just kind of like, oh man, a little you just kind of missed it. Just kind of see what's anybody particularly special at that moment.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right. Let's go ahead and throw it over to Essie. Essie, what are you doing currently as the students here are partaking in a feast?
I'm shoving a raw fish into my mouth.
Raw fish. Okay.
I imagine as I eat that, I maybe look around, try to see who's sitting near the fish. I get a glimpse of maybe Kaylin, kind of I'm not sure how Kaylin's doing over there after eating that pepper.
I think he's fine now. I think I'm fine now. With the cheese, being able to help fight against the heat. The pepper.
I point at the pepper that you had eaten. And I say, good.
Yes, a little spicy, but the cheese can help after the initial heat burst.
Essie grabs one and eats it as well. I don't know if I need a constitution to show how I do against the pepper.
Give me 1 second.
Or whatever it was.
I got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Like how we're just like, look at all this food here. Let's get back. Why not? Oh, right there.
Sorry. You're trying to eat a pepper. Is that what you're doing, Essie?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I asked Caitlin if it was good, and he kind of was like, "Yeah, it's not too bad with the cheese." So I'm gonna try one as well.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
I think it's this button. I have 10.
Ooh, a 10. Let me look at my thingy here. Ooh, no, that's a fail. So what happens, Essie, is like the same thing that happened with Kaylin. Like you took a bite. Do you take a bite of the pepper, or do you just put the whole thing in your mouth?
I probably just put the whole thing in.
Okay, yeah, okay. At first it seems okay, and then a moment your eyes start to water as the spice just kind of completely engulfs your tongue. You are probably not kind of used to this type of spice level. I don't think, Essie. Maybe you are. And it just kind of overwhelms you for just a few moments. It's to the point that you could swear there is smoke coming out of your nostrils.
Perhaps can I look around and what is there a drink in the near vicinity?
Let us see what we have to drink here. We have well, the first thing, give me a perception check, actually, with disadvantage, because you've eaten this hot, spicy pepper for the moment. All right,
dang, one was a 20.
Yeah, no. So he rolled an 11. Yeah. So with an 11, the first thing you spot is some sort of beverage that looks like it's got smoke coming off of it. You can't quite tell what it is at this exact moment, but you could probably surmise that it's probably some sort of coffee drink. And that's kind of what you see.
That's the only thing I see. All right. I grab it and I just start drinking it.
Yeah. So you drink down this beverage. Give me 2 seconds here. And it is an intense and bold, robust flavor. Have you ever had coffee before, Essie?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. So this has got a greater depth than normal coffee, like way beyond. The initial taste over the spiciness is the perfectly roasted coffee beans, followed by a subtle flavor of blackberry, star anise, and a touch of something unidentifiable, but feels otherworldly. And it kind of washes away the spiciness that actually it leaves your mouth feeling cool and refreshed despite the warmth of the coffee.
Okay. I look at it and I guess feel a little bit better, and I look at Kaylin and say, "Try this. It helps."
Kaylin, as you look at it, you can see the liquid in the cup that looks impossibly dark. It almost like absorbs the light around it almost. It looks like there's thin wisps of shadow-like steam rising from the surface, and it looks like it's making all these kind of patterns. This is what is called shadow brew coffee.
Shadow brew coffee, huh?
Yes, indeed.
I'll like take a look at it to kind of see what it is, and then once I find out that it's that, I'm like, no, I think I'm okay for now, but thanks.
All right. Uh, I am Essie, by the way.
Hello, Essie. I'm Kalen. We kind of strange that we have not met prior to this. Seeing as how we're both from the same place.
Oh, you're from the Onyx Coast?
Mm-hmm. My aunt is Vice Captain Louisa, who I don't know if you saw, but she joined us on the ride here to this place.
You're from one of the bigger houses. I say that more as a question.
Yes. Yes, my sister is also here somewhere. She also came along.
I live in the Onyx Coast, but don't see many of the other houses too often.
That's fair. I have spent a lot of time at sea myself, on ships, venturing, exploring for coming here and seeing what this place has in store. I've always heard about it, but not seeing it ever, obviously.
Yes. Quite big.
Very.
Nearly breathtaking. I grab a raw fish and offer it to Kalen.
I say thank you, and I grab it and put it on my. I assume we have like plates and stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's plates. Whatever you need is there.
Okay, yeah, I accept it and I put it on my plate. Thank
Much better than pepper.
Okay.
Kaylin, it actually wouldn't be unusual for you to eat raw fish, really, considering where you come from.
Yeah.
Is it essentially sushi? Or is he just shoving a big giant fish in his mouth?
That's up to Ezzy. Ezzy, is it like sushi or is it just straight up look like a fish?
I picture it being almost just like a whole fish, but like kind of like removed of bones, maybe. Like it's kind of prepared but not cooked.
Yeah. Does it still have its head?
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
You gotta leave the head on.
Yeah. That's where all the flavor is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Good old squishy eyeballs, huh?
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, as you are all having this conversation, let's move over to Kreslin. What is Kreslin up to right now, Paula? What at the dinner table?
As they were entering the room, she is looking for a seat. She decided to sit at the very end. That way, there's only like 2 people in which she has to talk to, as to like 4 people.
Okay.
So she's there and she's just watching everyone, pile their plates with food and whatnot, and she kind of just she's people watching. She's taking everything in, trying to see what other people are doing, trying to listen in on conversations around her, watching as everyone piles their plates. She unrolls her cloth napkin and puts it over her lap and readjusts her silverware, and she goes for the salad with the berry sauce, and she picks up two dinner rolls, and she takes a sip of water, and she feels self-conscious of her eating her salad with a knife and fork, but that's how she was taught, so that's how she's gonna eat it. Slowly, not trying to get attention.
Wait, with what kind of fork? How are you eating the salad? Would you say?
With the
With a
wonk.
with a knife and a fork.
A knife and a fork. Oh, okay.
Yeah. To,
Okay.
to cut the big pieces of lettuce.
Big piece of lettuce. Yeah.
All right, Kreslin, I'll leave it up to you. To your left and right sitting, is it the party or is it two randoms? Or one of each?
I would say it's one random and one person from the party.
Okay. Let's see who is sitting immediately to your right. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me. I need you to re-roll that because we already have a 7. I think we already have a 10, don't we? No, we had a 9. That's what it was.
Yeah.
10. Okay. Sitting next to you on your right is you see a half-elf girl with dark brown skin and very lively emerald eyes. She has chestnut hair and a round face that gives her smile a warm charm. And this is who this person is. There she is, right there. So she is sitting to your right. And she is currently eating, what is she eating? She currently has some of the thundercloud mushroom broth. And you notice that each time she takes like a little bite of it, like her hair kind of like, what would be the correct words? Kind of like, you know how you rub a balloon on your head and you kind of get that static and it kind of makes your hair stand up? Every time she takes a bite, her hair kind of leaps up like that for a moment and then settles back down. And then to your left is sitting, we'll put Casas there, I guess. Phenom, you're sitting next to Phenom.
If I were to like by mistakenly like bump into the person on my right, but I'd get like shocked. The static shock.
Possibly. Are you gonna try to bump into that person?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Okay.
I feel like we would be with all the students here. We might be like on top of each other every now and then.
Grabbing.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. As long as you're kind of careful, then no. There's not necessarily a random chance of it happening as you are. I feel like you are fairly aware of your surroundings and where you're kind of putting yourself as you grab things. Your salad, however, has a light, crisp texture and a refreshing flavor reminiscent of cucumber with hints of mint. The vinaigrette is made from rare moonberries that only ripen under the full moon. And it kind of has like a pearlescent silvery blue color to it. It has like a tart, sweet flavor to it. It almost makes the salad kind of sparkle as you kind of partake in it.
She notices her salad sparkle slightly, and she kind of smiles to herself. She continues eating. And then when she's done with her salad, she goes on to the second course, and she looks along, like, in front of her. Tries to, she sees the girl eating the mushroom broth soup. and she's like, I don't want that to happen to me. I'm going to look for something vegetarian,
Something vegetarian.
not the celestial cheese peppers, because she would have seen other people react. She's gonna stay away from that. What is there vegetarian wise?
Let us see.
There's a
what we
pepper.
have.
Just a plain old pepper.
Also, did I need to roll a thing for that? Josh? So I did say I grabbed the peppers and shit too.
Oh, unless you specifically say you take a bite of it, I'm not gonna make you do a roll.
All right, got you bad.
Since you were just kind of grabbing, just for that, yeah. Yeah, you find Kreslin. After looking around, you find what looks like a chocolate lava cake. For a dessert, if that is what you're looking for. There is also a thing of mashed potatoes, kind of floating around.
Floating?
Yeah, it's like floating around in like its bowl. Which is like the only bowl that is actually floating is the mashed potatoes. They're levitating mashed potatoes.
She goes to grab for the bowl.
And the bowl like levitates over to you and this goes right into your hands. It can detect that you want mashed potatoes.
I'll take like maybe a spoonful, just like plop it onto my plate, and then lift my hands back up in the air and gently let it go.
Yep, it floats. It goes back to floating around to the other students sitting around that are in pursuit of levitating mashed potatoes. And they're just like they're just mashed potatoes, guys. There's nothing.
She goes to bite, like expecting her to like start like floating in her chair, and then like nothing happens, and then she gets slightly deflated, but it's fine, and she'll continue eating her mashed potatoes.
All right.
And then she'll go for the chocolate.
Taters and cake.
Yeah. All right. As Kreslin is eating, we're gonna float over to Euphenom, or Okasis, I believe is how you pronounce your name. What are you doing at the dinner table right now?
Well, I would start as we walk into the big room and everybody looks for their seat. He goes between two tables, looking left, right, trying to see what's on there and kind of really decide where to sit down. And he looks for something that he knows, not like anything new, because he likes to stick with what he knows.
Okay.
And as he walks to the end of the table, he finally sees on his right something that he recognizes. It's up to you what that is. And then he sees Kreslin, and thinks to himself, well, it's something, so why not here? And then sits down.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm dead, I know it.
The main thing that you find is something kind of just smushed in there on the table. You may regret giving me control of what you're used to here. You see Unicorn Wellington with a rainbow glaze on it. And you see like a how do I describe this? a beautiful golden like flaky pastry, right? That is shaped to resemble like a sleeping unicorn, and it has really intricate details on it, like a mane and a horn and hooves that are like they're just carved into the pastry. Like this pastry is a work of art, right? And as you kind of slice into it, there's a colorful spiral interior that looks kind of like a unicorn's mane. It is a specifically prepared tender cut of high quality beef or possibly venison inside, which has been marinated with a blend of rare herbs and spices. It's not actually a unicorn. It's just meant to kind of give the little air of the exotic, so to speak, about it.
It's a ripoff.
But
yeah, if I know the dish and know what I can or could expect, I would start eating that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it tastes like the pastry is crispy and flaky and gives this really tender inside this tender protein of the familiar that you've definitely had before. It has mushrooms in it as well that kind of give it like a earthy kind of base to it.
All right. While I'm eating, I'll nod to the people around me, just like a kind of man nod, like, "Hey," but as a nod.
Yeah, give me a perception check, Phenom.
All right. Let me character cheat perception.
It's gonna be the one.
It is a 15.
All right, a 15. Go ahead and roll me a D10.
An 8.
Okay. Seated around you, you see a girl that is kind of like brooding a little bit, but she has, mechanically speaking, she's a drow, but drow in my world aren't like drow in other worlds, obviously. Like, but like, if you were to say this looks like a drow, that's what she looks like. She is a dark-haired half elf who's, you could tell that she has obsidian skin and stark white hair, and she is just kind of sitting there, kind of brooding, kind of poking at her food a little bit, not really into it all that much. And yeah, that is her in the chat right there for you guys to see. She's just kind of poking at her food with a fork.
Is she eating the same thing as me or something else?
She is eating she has she has kraken tentacles on a bed of sea witch hair pasta. Is what she has.
Okay. Well, then I suggest you should eat this one. This one is probably better than whatever that is over there.
She kind of looks up at you and she doesn't exactly smile, but the corner of her lip kind of turns up just a smidge, just barely, as she kind of she reaches up and over. She doesn't say anything. She reaches up and over toward the unicorn pastry, and the unicorn Wellington. That's it. And she also gets some on her plate, and she pours like the rainbow glaze on hers, Phenom, but like the color turns black. Like it's like whereas like if you had used the rainbow glaze, it's all these different colors, but hers just pours out like a black color, and she like kind of sighs and kind of takes a bite of it.
Let me roll something. How do I roll something for myself?
Like just for you, like privately?
Yes. Yes.
Set your, in the chat down there, click on where it says public roll and put to private GM roll, blind GM roll, or self roll.
Okay. Oh, is there a... There's just not a coin. Roll. Does that work? Okay. All right, I'll like take my plate and offer to switch with her.
Interesting. How does she react to this? She kind of looks up at you for a minute, and she doesn't. She says, "Well, we can try, I guess." And she picks up her plate and hands it to you, and then she touches your plate. And the moment your hands like swap plates, the one that she had that she gave to you that had the sauce that had turned black immediately turns to rainbow colors. And the one that you had that you gave to her, the moment she touches it, it immediately turns black again. It turns like from bright colors to black, the color black.
Well, I say that's interesting, but at least we tried. I hope it still tastes the same. And then I continue eating.
She kind of smiles at you, and it's kind of like the first like genuine smile she's given. And she takes a bite and says, she says her name, which is I'm Morgan Darkwater.
Hello, Kazos. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right. As you all are intermingling here at the table, is there anything anybody else would like to do? As
Yes.
you sit here. Okay.
Okay, so as I'm watching everybody do their thing, I'm just sitting there stuffing bread into my pocket, like little biscuits. And I just look at one, take a look at it, and just kind of like twirl it around in my hand, inspecting it. And we're sitting next to other schools, right? It's just like these three tables have each school.
Yeah. Or each house in the
Okay, yeah. So this other bread just wouldn't fit into my little satchel thing, so I just kind of like chunk it over to one of those other tables.
Oh god.
Oh, you trying to incite a fucking
No.
food fight?
And
I threw
fuck, no, I rolled
I
it.
threw it over to the purple table, Shadow Brand. I'm guessing. I
Okay.
just kind of like just
Brand
willy-nilly
fight.
just throw it over.
All right. Roll a d20.
Is that why you were hoarding the fucking buns, dude?
D20
He
just
said I got ammo right here.
okay. Public roll D20.
Yeah, we're gonna do an improvised attack.
Okay.
Roll.
Is there any possible way for anybody
Yeah,
to see
boy.
this before he does it?
I got 19.
No, I'm afraid not. So
Wait,
you
what?
get a 19. You get a 19, and we're gonna add your dex to it. 20, 21, 22. Yeah, you hit somebody. Let's see how this person reacts.
Do they react like this? I'm sorry.
Gonna be fucking Fred from SpongeBob, leg broken and shit for no
My
reason.
leg.
My
No.
leg.
So, Kagu,
Mhm.
you throw the bread, and it hits somebody in the back of the head. And this
Please
person,
let him be a barbarian.
this person kind of stands up and looks over at you, and you notice that it is a striking young man who looks to be about the age of 16. He stands about 5'10", with a fairly lean, athletic build. His skin is deathly pale. Or sorry, is very pale, but not deathly so. He kind of blends in a little bit. He has sharp, angular features and deep-set eyes that shift between dark brown and a subtle crimson, depending on how the light hits him. He has raven black hair styled in a fashionably tousled manner. This is who you've hit.
Let me. Oh God, I could take him.
And he just kind of looks over at you and just kind of has a confused look on his face. It's not even like there's no anger or anything like that. It's just like, what the hell is that?
Can
You know?
I like, as he's like looking at me, I kind of like point towards Essie, kind of like saying he did it. Does he
All right,
probably
go
do
ahead and
that?
roll deception for me, Kagu.
So
Okay, how do I do that?
Click it in your character sheet. Click on deception.
Oh, okay.
I think you can do it from the UI as well.
mhm.
I'm so lost. Deception.
Yeah, so go to your see at the top right of the chat. There's the person.
Uh huh.
Click on that. Click on your thing,
Okay.
and then you should see the deception roll on your character sheet. It'll be in the skills.
It's right under athletics. It's near the top.
I see. See, I hit the little sword toggle, and then above my little picture has save skills and tools, and you can click
Yeah.
it from there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can do it from there as well. Yeah.
That works too.
I didn't know there's another way.
Well, the UI is a module I'm using.
Mm.
It actually makes
Okay.
it look like Solasta, which is super handy.
What's the ability modifier?
It's
set to charisma right now.
Yeah, that's what you want it as.
All right. And normal roll.
Normal roll. Seven. All right. Let me roll a D10 here. I mean a D20 here. All right. Yeah, I don't even. He immediately knows that he just kind of shakes his head and turns around and sits back down.
Okay.
Thank God you chose bread. Could have been something that was actually annoying.
Like that pepper.
Yeah, like if
Those
the
at
pepper
somebody's
hit him,
eyeball or something. Like,
yeah,
damn.
that would have been different. That would have been a whole different game if it was in the. But bread is just like the fuck is going on.
So I just take like a big bite out of one of the breads that's in my pocket. Just look around. Go on about the day.
Okay.
Alright. While we just sitting and eating and shit, like Marcel's he's talking to Theon, and you know he sees Morgan as well, though I don't know if he knows him. Like he starts talking to he's talking to Theon, and he's like, you know, so yeah, where you, if you don't mind my asking, where you from? You know, what is it? You know, how you what's your impression of the school so far? I know it's like the first day and all and everything, but how you feeling about all of this here?
The first thing you ask him is where he's from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where-
He looks at you and says, "I'm from the Alliance of the Silver Peaks. My folks run we run multiple blacksmithies up there. It's part of one of the noble houses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can create a lot of things. So, you know, they one second, guys.
Hmm?
You ever have somebody that knocks on your door and just won't leave you alone? I lost my whole train of thought. The Alliance of the Silver Peaks, and they run multiple smithies there, and they you know, I was invited here to help expand on the knowledge that I'm going to need one day. And as for my thoughts on the school, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to learn from some of the greatest minds in the world.
I agree completely. It's a very interesting and complex, but fun, in my opinion, opportunity for us to learn a lot of different shit and have fun at the same time. Everything. Well, Theon, is glad to have met you so quickly on this day, and I hope we get along as the year continues. He's like smiling, eating his shit, and also it's looking at like, I feel like in the like as we're like talking and shit, we're watching Kagu do this shit with the bread rolls and shit and everything, and we're just like, and he's just like, he's just looking at me. He's like, I don't know what that was or why that just happened, but that was a confusing thing that I just saw, because there was no there was like no preamble. Bread got thrown after he's been stuffing his pockets with bread for like 5 minutes. It's like, it's just like confused. He's just like confused and looking at like, yeah, like that was weird, right? Like the expression is like, that was weird, right? And and everything.
Baron just laughs as it happens.
It was like,
Says he's a dwarf.
my son just starts laughing at that. He's just like, yeah, we chilling and shit like that. And then, yeah, Marcelo started just talking to everybody else at the table. He like, yeah, like, hello, how's everybody else doing. Uh, hope everybody else is, enjoying the food and hope we get along as the year goes on in this house and everything. He like introduced me. He was like, "My name's Marcel." Uh, and he like so. It's effectively he's just greeting everybody, being like, "What's good? Hope everybody's having a good time."
Yeah. Give me an insight check.
All right, guidance.
We'll get a vibe on how things are going in here right now.
All right. Insights. And all right.
I feel like it'd be an insight check, I think.
Okay. That's an 8
Oh.
plus I did call it guidance before. I'm just gonna yell it before I say it. Do it. Every time. So let me see. I don't know what that'll be. 2. So just a 10. Just average.
Yeah. So the vibe in here is good. Everybody's spirits are high. Everybody's happy to meet each other. There are occasional moments of tension that are quickly just disappear. Because there have been feuds among houses and not saying the houses here like the
Oh, I'm
houses.
sorry, Josh. It was actually a 12. I forgot I have a +2 to insight.
I got you. Same thing.
Yeah.
But there have been in the history of the world, the kingdoms have gone to war against each other at times and have had battles and stuff like that. And there are occasional rivalries among them. So there's an occasional moment where something, nothing major, but an occasional spike of some anxiety and stuff like that. But for the most part, the vibes are good. Everybody's excited.
Nice. Good energy. I love it.
All right. As you're doing that, the Kagu.
Yes.
You didn't notice it before, but earlier, when you threw the bread and hit that person, they actually had on the same uniform as you. Yeah, they were just at another table for a moment, and you see this person stand up and walk over, and as he kind of walks over, he sits across from you and just kind of looks at you.
Oh, we talking about the guy that I hit with bread, right?
Yep.
And he came over to our table.
Mm-hmm.
So I just look at him, and I say, "Hey, your table's over there, right?"
He looks up at you and says, "Look again," as he has on the same uniform as you.
Wait a minute. So but how'd I hit him with it if I threw it at a different table?
He was standing over there talking to somebody.
So I was like, "Are you commingling with the other houses?"
I was just talking to one of my friends over there. Come with me here.
Okay.
He sticks his hand out towards you and says, "I'm Corvus Moonvale."
Well, Corvus, not sure if it's much of a pleasure meeting you, but I've met you.
Kind of pulls his hand back and has a little smile on his face.
What was this? Corvus what?
Moonvale. I'm gonna type it in chat for you.
You said he's taking me somewhere?
No. He's just sitting across from you. He was shaking. He's trying to shake.
Oh,
your
he
hand.
was trying to shake my hand. Ah, okay. Yeah. I thought he was guiding me somewhere.
No. Did you shake his
So
hand or spurn him?
I'll shake his hand.
Cool. His as you touch his hand, it's very cold, slightly clammy.
Yeah, I just tell him, you stick your hand in some ice.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I asked him if he stuck his hand in some ice.
Oh. No, just naturally cold-blooded, I'm afraid.
I see. Where are you from?
The Dominion of Shadowsedge. What's your name?
My name is Kagu.
Good to meet you, Kagu.
Well, and then I just sit there, in silence, kind of just looking at him.
Give me an insight check, Kagu.
Insight.
Yeah.
Get your...
Damn. He rolled a 21 for those at home.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I can always announce it. You sense, just looking him up and down, like a great amount of conflict in him. Like, you can tell this person is like conflicted by something that you don't know what. You know, like this is someone that is intensely complicated to try to figure out that you can get at kind of like a glance.
Okay. So as I'm like just sitting there looking at him, I just like Corvus. Is there something on your mind?
He kind of looks at you and his eyes kind of widen for just a moment, and he just says, quite a bit, but maybe for another time. I've heard the rumors about you. It seems like some of them are proven to be truer than others.
I would refrain from believing all the stories out there. There's only so much that I've accomplished. So apparently that's why I'm here. Is to see if I could do much more. How about yourself?
I'm hoping that by being here, I can figure out what path I want to walk in this world.
Interesting. Do you have weaknesses? Because I believe I do not.
You're asking him if he thinks he has weaknesses?
Yeah, just kind of like going back to that speech that was it the headmistress did.
Yeah.
Kind of like a joke, kind of like saying jokingly, like I don't have no weaknesses.
No, I got you. He just kind of nods. He's like, I think I have a few.
And I'm like, Kagu's not much of a talker, so he kind of like gets awkward to a certain point. So he just grabs a piece of bread and sits it next to him.
He grabs the bread and tears off a piece and goes to take a bite. Roll a perception check for me, Kagu. Damn.
19.
You were rolling very well. Yeah, you notice as he goes to take a bite of the bread that he has two very pronounced canine fang teeth in the front, kind of like a vampire type tooth.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you catch it at a glance as he takes a bite into the bread.
So I just say to him, I'm sure we'll see more of each other. Let's just enjoy our meal.
Kagu feels a tap on his back.
I look over just to see what's happening.
Essie is holding a bread roll and says, "You dropped this." Hands it to Kagu in front of this other guy.
I just quickly like grab it from his hand and just stuff it in my pocket.
Okay.
So fucking stupid.
Okay. Is there anything anybody else would like to do at the dinner table?
No, I'm just talking to everybody. I holler at Corvus when I see he comes over. I go holler at him and, you know, get my introductions as I've done to everybody else at the table and everything, you know. So it was good. Besides that, but yeah, nothing else. Just be like, hello, pleasure to meet you. Name's Marcel. Look forward to, you know, going through the year with you this year. So, hope we can get along and have a good time throughout the year.
You're saying this to Corvus?
Yeah, to Corvus. Yeah.
He kind of gives a little nod and is like, yeah, nice to meet you. And then he kind of pulls his hood up over his head as he kind of gets to look like, oh man, I'm pulling a lot of attention on myself, and he kind of shrinks into his hood a little bit as he sits at the table. So time kind of passes and we come to the end of dinner, and you see Tola kind of hold her hands up, and the room kind of goes quiet. And she says, "Students of the Royal Academy, I hope you have enjoyed your meals, but it is now time for you to become acquainted with the grounds. And to do this, we have a fun little game planned for you. A little scavenger hunt." And she kind of smiles. He says, as she thanks for just a moment, "The goal is to find one of these." And she holds up what looks to be like a little moon-shaped charm necklace around between her fingers. She said, "This will be in our closing ceremony tonight, the Twilight Luminary ritual. For those of you that are able to find one of these, you will have a special place of honor among us tonight." She smiles. "During the scavenger hunt, feel free to explore the grounds and the academy as well, as you look for one of these tokens." And she says, "The first clue is feather from a phoenix tail, fiery bird of rebirth am I, yet no flames will you spy. My tail of many colors gleam, not all is as it seems. Good luck. You're going to need it. And immediately, the students just immediately, like, the tables almost explode with motion as everybody starts to fan out into the Royal Academy. Essie, Kagu, Kaylin, Kreslin, Marcel, Okasis, you all are in one party together for the first time. What do you do as you are left there standing as all the other students have filed out or are in the middle of filing out to try to hunt down and solve the first step of the scavenger hunt?
Essie grabs some of the remainder of the raw fish and then turns to the rest and says, "Are you not going?"
I take a last sip of whatever the hell we were drinking on, and I say, "Let's go win this thing."
Do we
As
have
I
our like?
rise and get ready to leave.
This one?
I just kind of like follow along the back of the pack.
Okay.
Marcel, he's like, yes. Let's start looking for it. As he's like thinking about like what the riddle could mean and everything, and on the back of his head, and he's ready to push off with everybody, uh, and try to figure out uh what we need to get and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, one, it's killing my brain thinking about this small dwarven dude. His pants are filled with bread rolls,
Hey, you leave my bread
trying to
alone.
run out. No, I'm just saying, picture that shit really in your head of like all these bread rolls in his fucking pants. He's trying to just run out the, falling out the fucking pant leg and shit. Oh, it's so stupid.
It might come in handy later, dude.
Crystalline will just like wipe the sides of her mouth and scoot her chair out and stands up, and she'll walk to uh no, she'll turn to Castus.
Whatever you want. I'll accept anything.
She'll turn to a Castus and Acostus. I don't know. And then she'll you'll see her hand come out, and you can see us like it's slightly shaking, and she'll introduce herself. I'm Crystalline.
Can you repeat that? The last thing just
You kind of cut out there a little bit.
I'm Crystalline.
I'm Okazas. Nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Same here. I have a question, Josh. You said that we are doing this as a group. Do we get like selected? Like, are there certain groups, or is everybody just on their own?
You are a group, so they kind of pair up. So
Okay.
yeah, it just kind of happened naturally.
Then okay. Then I would just stand up with her and wait for her, and then we kind of go to the others, or in the same direction. However, we meet up.
Were we given a map at all of this like whole school?
Place.
Yeah, or are we just like to venture out?
No map.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a like? I assume this riddle here is it like was it just spoken to us, or do we have like a piece of paper on it and we can read what it says?
One of you probably wrote it down.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
When we
I got this.
came in, were there any like statues or mosaics of like birds? What's that particular bird?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes. Any
There was
phoenix mosaics you came across?
no, not specifically a phoenix. I do not believe. So let me look through my notes here. No, most of the mosaics that you saw in the entrance hall were like legendary figure, like people, legendary people, for the most part, carved into the sides.
Mm,
So are
whatever
we
the fuck-
actively searching now?
That's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
I would
You
like
can be in the
to
planning stages.
roll a perception check to see if there's anything here in the hall that we're in.
Okay.
Before we leave, just in case.
Okay, yeah.
As
Go
I see
ahead and
him
roll
do that,
perception.
as I see him doing that, I'll guide him.
All right. So Daniel,
Okay,
roll
so I'm,
perception, and then
Yep.
Bigfoot, you can roll a guidance, and you guys can add
Alright.
that in there.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Oh, that's good
22.
numbers.
Oh,
That's good numbers. Go ahead and add that to your too.
a 24.
24 total. All you see really are kind of the remnants of the food, the feast, and uh, of that. So
So there's like
nothing
nothing
really.
here that helps us on the
Nah,
hunt.
nothing
Damn.
really. That kind of could give
Okay.
you an edge.
So I look
Um,
around and I say, "Well, I don't think there's anything here that'll help us." So
Man,
whenever we're ready to roll out and look elsewhere, I think we should do that.
it's time to move forward.
If everybody agrees, as we walk out,
Yeah.
I would ask around if anybody has any hint, like idea, the slightest, what direction it is.
I want to, Josh. Is there a specific like? Obviously, none of us have been here before, but I
mhm.
want to know if like a specific area or something could possibly have been referenced in this uh like when what is it, the fiery bird of rebirth I am, yeah, no flames you will spy of like is there a specific, like as we were coming in and looking through the spot, were there any places that uh that were like a bit more like uh colorful, maybe had a fountain or a pond or something like that, something that like could be the iconography that like is being described in this as we were like coming through this place and shit.
Okay, so let's say this. You guys you don't have like an exact layout of the academy, right? But
Mhm.
you've obviously probably heard of some of the rooms and stuff like that and some of the areas that would exist here. That just makes sense. There's always rumors for
Right.
everything out there in the world. And you roll a history for me to see if you can recall or if you
All
make an
right.
argument for something else.
All
Let me
right.
know.
No, I'll go history and I'll guide myself.
Yep.
So that will be 19 plus 4 is 23. Plus a D4 is 25.
Okay. 25. Yes. So you do recall there is a garden area that has a fountain in it. And in your history, you want to say that there's definitely been mentions of some exotic animals possibly that roam the grounds.
Yeah. All right. So he'll be like, I believe I've heard a specific place in the garden that might match in a garden that might match the description what was being brought. Also, be on guard because there also might be creatures. I've heard tell of some creatures roaming around in that area as well. But I think it's a good start. It's a good lead to begin with. To begin our inquiry. And should, if that's okay with everybody else in the group. Uh,
Let's go, says
Since I have
Essie.
no idea, sure.
I can't.
Begin and is
Before we
walking
start
towards the
moving.
door.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Were we planning on moving? Is that what you were doing?
I was gonna say let's go as Essie, and Essie's gonna start walking.
yep.
Before anybody
Am
moves,
I?
do we? I kind of like tap my foot on the ground like real hard, kind of like stomping it.
Mhm.
I'm like, since this is a group, um, should we appoint a leader?
I don't think we need that right now because we don't know each other yet. So
You just met.
I don't think this needs a leader.
Well, Ocasio, sir. I think every group needs someone to point us to the right direction.
Essie's just walking to the door.
Yeah.
I think we should get
I-
going before the other students.
Yeah, I just don't
Let's-
answer and follow
let's
them.
go.
I just kind of scoff and start following.
Yeah, we start moving. Am I the one like leading to the area? Like, because I'm just thinking about this. But
Since
I
you
just
suggested it.
yes, it's not suggested. So I guess I'm the one running forward at the start.
Okay.
To the area.
You step back out into the main hall, and it is pandemonium as there are students running around everywhere, looking under every nook and cranny of this area. Across the hall, across from the hall to the grand feast, you see a door that was closed before has been thrown open, and you see it leads out into what looks like what could possibly be the garden area.
I'll go. I'll go in that direction. I don't know where the fuck I'm going because I've never been here before, so I'm just going off of like what I see and shit.
Okay.
Unless I see something different in the area, then I'm not gonna like another route to an area that looks like it might be correct. Then I'll just go for that for sure.
Okay. All right. So you walk into what you think is the garden, and as the party crests into this room, you see the legendary gardens of the Emerald Citadel. Words fail to capture the full glory and vibrant splendor of this verdant wonderland draped all around the mountaintop. At first, the eye is drawn to the sheer scale and meticulously manicured grandeur. The vast terraces and stately promenades lined with precisely trimmed hedgerows form an elegant geometric lattice across the garden's expanse. Ornate fountains and reflective pools punctuate the landscaping, their gentle arcing sprays shimmering like gemstones in the sunlight. As you move further into the room, the overwhelming biodiversity reveals itself in dazzling fashion. Flower beds erupt in spectacular kaleidoscopes of exotic blooms never seen elsewhere in the realm. Radiant blossoms in every permutation of shape, size, and hue imaginable seems to spill forth from the landscape in luxuriant profusion. Delicate petals practically shimmer with iridescent luster, while other flowers exude intoxicating perfume, conjuring faraway dreams. Tucked amidst this floral tapestry stand stately trees spanning the entire spectrum, from towering ancients to delicate saplings, their foliage displaying an astounding array of colors, shapes, and intricate patterning upon closer study. Several species are instantly recognizable as thought to be forever lost to extinction, yet here they endure within these verdant sanctuary walls. You see winding pathways beckoning to be explored, tantalizing glimpse of sculptural tapestries and meticulously tended groves visible at each turn. One pathway weaves under a tunnel of woven vines and hanging blooms, creating a living archway. Another culminates in a serene cloister garden whose centerpiece is an elegantly carved sundial encircled by beds of rare herbs, releasing their earthly fragrance into the air. Truly, this is an immaculate Eden rendered in vivid botanical splendor. A horticulture masterwork beyond imagining that can only hint at the profound dedication and expertise of the Emerald Citadel's master gardeners across the aeons. This is the Royal Gardens. Not the Royal Gardens, the Royal Academy Gardens.
So, what are we looking for exactly? I see the little riddle thing, but was it like an object or?
Alright. Now that we're no, I don't think it's an object because like we were given like a riddle, so it's like we don't know what we're looking for per se. Like, but we were given clues as to what it's supposed to be.
Wasn't there like a token thing?
Was there?
Josh?
Yeah, there was like a moon-shaped token.
There's a moon-shaped token that is kind of the prize for completing the scavenger hunt, not necessarily what you're looking for right at this point.
Oh, so we don't know what we're looking for.
Yeah, we don't know what we're looking for. So, all right. So now that we're in the gardens, I've taken it in for a second. Marcel he's in full. Like he's in the we're searching, we're in investigation time. You feel me? And everything. So he's like, all right. He's recounting like the fucking clues and everything. So we're like, fiery bird, you birth are mine, but no flames will you spawn. Tell the many colors gleams, all as it seems.
Are there any like? What time of day is it?
Probably about 3 in the afternoon, I'd imagine. After everything that's going on. Actually, it might be around 5. 5 p.m. would be probably more accurate.
Are there any like torches lit out here? Candles?
Yeah, there's definitely probably some torches lit around here.
Are there any ones in particular that are not lit?
No.
Are there any bird-like things? I want to look around for anything bird-like, bird statues or birds in general.
Yes, there are definitely different. There's tons of different wildlife animals. You see, like macaws, just all sorts of birds. You see some peacocks, peacocking around. You see, just any type of bird you could possibly see. Just about. Not a phoenix though.
Was there like two different ways that we could like walk through that, as you described that, right? Or no? You mentioned like a archway made of vines or something.
Yeah. There's different areas that you could
Go into?
explore. Yeah.
Are there, looking at the peacocks, is there any of them that stand out amongst the rest, where their feathers might be more colorful or more shiny, or if not more dull than the rest?
You said the peacocks? Is that what you asked?
Yes.
You do see a peacock with its feathers flared out, and you can indeed see a feather that looks slightly different than the others. It looks to be a feather that is specifically multiple colors and kind of sheens indiscrescent toward you as it kind of moves around.
I'll point this out to the rest of the group.
I'll walk over there and investigate it. If
Can I help?
Notice anything?
As you kind of move over towards it, the peacock starts running away.
Oh.
Yeah.
I start chasing after it.
Please.
All right, give me an athletics check, Kaku.
And I kind of like, I'm gonna try and cut it off at a pass of like as he's like going one way, I see where it's going, and I'm trying to go to like where it's trying to be.
Yeah, okay. Roll with advantage, Kagu.
Advantage?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage because Marcel is trying to help out by cutting it off and.
14?
Whoops, I accidentally rolled 2. I didn't mean to do that. First one's a 6. Okay. Yeah, you capture the peacock. No problem.
Yeah. Is this like bigger? Is this peacock bigger than me? I'm assuming.
Yeah, but with the help of Marcel, you both are able to kind of wrangle it. It starts scratching at you and kind of pecking at you.
So
Pecks
I'm
at your beard.
assuming, I'm assuming I'm the one that like grabs it, and I'm just like, just imagine myself like, just imagine a dwarf carrying like a boulder or something big. He's kind of like wobbling back to the group. He's like, hey guys, we got it.
Josh, can I do a like a nature? Because the last line is fucking with him. Of like, not all is as it seems and everything. It's like this was too easy. Of like us just coming in here and finding this. Like he might be overthinking it, but it's like bugging him. So
Okay.
he's like on this like peacock. Like he's just like wondering of like if this is like a red herring situation or something like that. So should I just roll or?
You want to do an investigation? Is that what you specifically want?
Yeah. I want to.
Oh, okay,
like,
go ahead.
I see the vibes and shit. Guidance. Well. So that'll be. That was almost good. What is that? That's add +4. I've only been rolling 2s for guidance. That's so weird. So that's 10 altogether.
Okay. You're overthinking it.
I'm overthinking it.
Yep. With the investigation.
Does it look like? Is it just a normal feather on the animal, or is it?
Are you just looking at it, or are you grabbing the feather to look at it?
That's what I want to know first before I decide.
It looks like a feather.
Okay, if it's just a normal feather and like obviously
it's not just a normal feather. It looks different than.
But like it is attached. It looks like it is attached like a normal feather.
Yes.
Okay, then I see him like pecking at
Over here struggling, dude.
Yeah, and I would cast a magic hand and try to gently pluck it.
Okay.
Not myself.
You pluck it very easily, and as you pluck it, it kind of poofs, and you hear Tola's voice come through into this room saying, "Azure drops from Ocean's daughter, magic brewed but not with water. In this vial emotions swim. Find it where the light is dim."
Well, after that happens, I'll look over to Marcel and like with a expression of, "You guessed this place right. Where do you need to go?"
It's the like, well, you was right once.
Yep.
You was right once. You gotta go.
Is the peacock poof?
Yeah. It just poofs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you ain't holding nothing no more.
Okay.
Azure drops from ocean's daughter, magic breed to melt water. In this vile emotion swing, find it, but the light is dim. Would this be, if I was trying to do the same shit, would this be the same fucking check? Or would this one be kind of different? Because this feels more, Josh, of like, trying to see if I could like piece something together from this. Would that also be a history check, or would that be more, in some other field or something like that?
You could do a... You can do a straight intelligence check, by the way, guys, if you want to try to just straight up decipher a riddle. Like, this is the answer, you know, if you want to do that. It's up to you. But yeah, you could do a history check if you want to.
Can I do the intelligence check?
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe
I would like
it's
to
in
as
the
well.
basement.
All right. I guess,
Intelligence?
yeah. Let's all
Intelligence.
do. I guess let's all do an intelligence
What
check.
type of intelligence check? Ability or saving?
Ability.
Also, actually, I think I'll do a. Because if I remember correctly,
Oh.
for
Well,
ability.
Success.
Woo-wee!
20.
Damn.
I'm intelligent.
All right, so what am I guess I'm rolling a history check. I don't think I can beat that though, but let's. But I still want to like roll regardless, just cause. Yeah, I'll go history. 18
Nine.
plus 4, 22 plus guidance is 25 again.
Okay. With Kagu's natural 20, it immediately hits him. The solution to this particular riddle. Where the light is dim, in this particular area, there's a fountain. And Kagu, even without like instantly, you know, from years of being a dwarf your whole life, light can be dim underwater. So you immediately like start searching the nearby fountain that is running with water, and reach in and you pull out what appears to be a vial of a substance.
So I kind of I grab the vial and like start like jumping and like twirling it in the air. Hey, I found it, guys. What do we do now?
Do an Arcana check on
Good job.
A what check, Paula? Sorry, you're trailing off.
Arcana?
Arcana check? Yeah, you can do an Arcana check.
I will also, as a caveat, I want to say this very quickly. Of like, whenever I'm saying like, I'm trying to like guide one of y'all can just be like, no, if it makes your character like uncomfortable, like, cause he's asking beforehand, like, if it's all right for him to help y'all out. Like, he's being like, is it okay if I like guide you in this and shit, as well, like as you like go to take a look at it.
So if I have proficiency on a roll, does that mean I roll it with advantage?
Proficiency lets you add your proficiency bonus. And it'll automatically add it in there for you.
All right. Plus guidance, if Setslin is fine with me guiding her. Paula, I don't know if she was or not, but
It requires touch, right?
yes. That's why I'm asking.
No.
All right, cool.
Okay.
17.
All right. We're gonna end right after we resolve this. As you kind of reach out with Arcana, Kreslin, the vial kind of poofs and you hear the voice again. Shaped by magic, not by shears, our crest in nature appears. Where scholars read beneath the trees, I rustle gently in the breeze. And that is where we're going to end tonight, guys, because
Before
we
we end, I kind of want to say in Dwarvish, smart dwarf to Kagum.
You say that to me?
Yes.
Wait, do I know? Wait, what language did you say?
Oh, he
Your
said it. He said it in your
Dwarvish.
language, dude.
Could you imagine if you didn't know your own language?
Are you-
Game of
Are you,
Thrones.
are you a No Sabo kid, Juan? What the
I'm
hell?
a no
Yeah,
sabo, bro. I just look at it and I say, back at you.
What?
I was a little bit confused. But okay,
Marcel also looks confused when that happens. Like,
And this is where we fade to black on all this confusion among each other as we end today's session. Thank you for playing, guys. I know we're ending a little bit early, but we have a group watch to get to. Appreciate you guys for playing. Gonna end the recording right here.